When a rookie wide receiver goes down with an injury, it's not just about one player missing one game. It's about momentum shifts, offensive rhythm disruptions, and the ripple effect that touches every aspect of how this team operates on Sunday. And after what we witnessed last week against Green Bay, every single body, every single playmaker, every single weapon in our arsenal matters more than ever. Welcome to Bears News Fan Report, your home for the most up-to-date information, breaking news, and in-depth analysis of our beloved Chicago Bears. I'm here today with an update that could change everything about how we approach this Sunday's matchup. And trust me, you're going to want to hear every detail of what I'm about to share because the implications go far beyond just one player's status. Let me set the stage for you. We're coming off a brutal road loss to the Packers, a game that left a bitter taste in every Bears fan's mouth. The offense struggled to find consistency. We couldn't establish the kind of rhythm we needed to compete with a division rival, and injuries played a significant role in limiting what we could do schematically. When you're missing key pieces of your offensive puzzle, it forces the coaching staff to adjust. It forces other players to step into roles they might not be ready for, and it gives opposing defenses the opportunity to focus their attention on the weapons you do have available. That's exactly what happened last Sunday, and it's a big reason why we couldn't get things going the way we needed to. Now, as we turn our attention to Week 15 and a matchup against the Cleveland Browns, the question on everyone's mind has been about health. Who's going to be available? Who's progressing through their recovery? Who's going to be ready to contribute when we need them most? The Browns present a unique challenge, and I'll get into the specifics of that in just a moment. But first, I need to walk you through what Wednesday's practice revealed because there are multiple storylines developing simultaneously, and understanding the full picture is crucial to appreciating what this means for Sunday's game plan. Wednesday practices during the NFL season are always interesting because they set the tone for the entire week. Coaches get their first look at who's healthy, who's progressing, and who might need more time. Players are evaluated, participation levels are monitored, and the injury report that comes out of Wednesday's session gives us our first real indication of what the roster might look like come game day. This week's report had some encouraging developments, some concerning absences, and one name in particular that has Bears fans feeling a whole lot better about our chances this weekend. Let me talk about the defensive side first because there's genuinely good news here. Jaylon Johnson, our lockdown cornerback, and one of the most important players on this entire roster, was a full participant in Wednesday's practice. This is massive for us because Johnson's ability to take away the opposing team's number one receiver is a game-changing element of our defensive scheme. When he's on the field and healthy, it allows our defensive coordinator to be more aggressive with blitz packages, it gives our safeties more freedom to help in run support, and it fundamentally changes what offenses can do against us. Johnson being full go on Wednesday is exactly what we needed to see. Linebacker Ruben Hippolyte also practiced in full, which adds depth to a position group that's been tested throughout this season. Having bodies available at linebacker, especially guys who understand the system and can contribute on special teams as well, is always valuable. The more healthy players we have in that room, the better equipped we are to handle whatever Cleveland throws at us. But it wasn't all positive news on the injury front. Kyler Gordon, another key piece of our secondary, didn't practice at all on Wednesday. Gordon's absence is concerning because defensive back depth is something we can't take for granted in this league. Every team faces injuries, every roster gets tested, but when you're missing multiple players in the secondary, it creates vulnerabilities that smart offensive coordinators will absolutely exploit. We'll need to monitor Gordon's status throughout the week because his availability could significantly impact our defensive game plan. Travis Homer also missed Wednesday's practice, which affects our running back depth. While Homer isn't a starter, his role on special teams and as a backup option is important for roster flexibility. Not having him available would force other players to take on additional responsibilities. And in a physical game against a tough Browns defense, having fresh legs in the backfield matters. Tyreek Stevenson and Olamide Zaccheaus were both limited participants on Wednesday. Limited participation is always a positive sign compared to missing practice entirely, because it indicates these players are progressing through their recovery and could potentially be available on Sunday. Stevenson's role in our secondary and Zaccheaus' contribution as a receiver depth piece are both valuable, and having them trending in the right direction is encouraging as we move through the week. Now, here's where we get to the headline, the update that every Bears fan has been waiting for since last Sunday. Rome Odunze, our talented rookie wide receiver who missed the Packers game with a foot injury, was listed as a limited participant in Wednesday's practice. This is the first time we've seen Odunze on the practice field since he went down with that injury, and the fact that he's already back out there, even in a limited capacity, is an incredibly positive development for this offense. Let me explain why this matters so much. Odunze isn't just another receiver on this roster. He's a foundational piece of what this offense is trying to build. As a rookie, he's shown flashes of the talent that made him a high draft pick. He's demonstrated the ability to win contested catches, create separation, and be a reliable target in crucial situations. When you're trying to develop a young quarterback and establish an offensive identity, having weapons like Odunze available is absolutely critical. His absence last week was felt throughout the game, and getting him back would be a massive boost heading into a tough matchup. The Cleveland Browns defense is no joke. We're talking about a unit that features Myles Garrett, one of the most dominant pass rushers in the entire NFL. Garrett's ability to wreck game plans, collapse pockets, and force quarterbacks into uncomfortable situations is well documented. When you're facing a defense with that kind of elite talent up front, you need to have all your weapons available on the outside, because the quick passing game, the ability to get the ball out fast and let your receivers make plays in space, becomes even more important. If our quarterback is under constant pressure from Garrett and the Browns' pass rush, we need receivers who can win quickly, get open on short and intermediate routes, and turn quick completions into meaningful gains. Odunze's skill set is perfectly suited for that kind of game plan. Having Odunze back also changes how opposing defenses have to approach us. When you're missing a key receiver, defenses can focus their attention on your remaining weapons. They can double-team your number one guy. They can bracket your tight end. They can take away your favorite concepts because they know you don't have the depth to punish them for it. But when you have a full complement of receivers available, when you can spread the field and create matchup problems at multiple levels, it forces defenses to play more honest. It opens up opportunities for everyone else. It creates more space for the running game, and it gives your offensive coordinator more flexibility in how he calls the game. The fact that this was just a walkthrough practice on Wednesday is important context. The Bears, like most NFL teams, typically conduct walkthroughs on Wednesdays rather than full-speed practices. The injury designations we see on Wednesday reports are projections based on what a player's participation level would be if it were a full practice. So when we see Odunze listed as limited, it means the medical staff and coaching staff believe he would have been able to participate in a limited capacity if they were running a full practice. That's a positive indicator of where he is in his recovery process. The progression from here will be key. Thursday and Friday practices will give us a much clearer picture of Odunze's status for Sunday. If he's able to increase his participation level, if he can get through Thursday and Friday without setbacks, the likelihood of him playing against Cleveland increases significantly. The team will be cautious. They won't rush him back if there's any risk of re-injury or if he's not physically ready to perform at the level required. But the fact that he's already back on the practice field is a strong sign that we could see him on Sunday. From a strategic standpoint, even if Odunze is available, we might see the coaching staff manage his workload carefully. It's possible he could be on a pitch count, where he plays a certain number of snaps but isn't out there for the entire game. That's a common approach when bringing players back from injury, especially rookies who are still developing and whose long-term health is a priority for the organization. But even a limited version of Odunze is better than not having him available at all, and his presence on the field would give this offense a dimension it was missing last week. Looking at the bigger picture, this game against Cleveland is crucial for multiple reasons. We're trying to bounce back from a division loss, we're fighting to stay competitive in a tough NFC North, and we need to show that this team can respond to adversity. Getting healthier, having more weapons available, and putting together a complete performance on both sides of the ball is essential. The injury report from Wednesday suggests we're moving in the right direction, and if that trend continues through Thursday and Friday, we'll be in much better shape heading into Sunday. The Browns game presents challenges beyond just Myles Garrett. Their defense is physical, they're well coached, and they've shown the ability to disrupt offensive game plans throughout this season. But we've also seen this Bears team rise to challenges when healthy and when everyone is clicking. The talent is there, the coaching is improving, and if we can get our key players back on the field, we have the pieces to compete with anyone. So here's what I'm watching as we move through this week. First, Odunze's progression from limited to full participation would be ideal. If he can practice fully on Thursday and Friday without any setbacks, that would indicate he's ready to play a significant role on Sunday. Second, Kyler Gordon's status needs to improve. We need him in the secondary, and if he can get back on the practice field Thursday, that would be a major boost. Third, the limited participants like Stevenson and Zacchaeus need to continue trending positively. Getting them to full participation by Friday would give us maximum flexibility with our game plan. What do you think, Bears faithful? Are you encouraged by seeing Odunze back at practice, even in a limited capacity? Do you think the coaching staff should be cautious and potentially hold him out another week to ensure he's fully healthy? Or do you believe we need him on the field Sunday to have our best chance against Cleveland? How concerned are you about facing Myles Garrett and that Browns pass rush? And what adjustments do you want to see from our offensive line to keep our quarterback upright? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I want to hear from this community about how you're feeling heading into this crucial Week 15 matchup. In conclusion, the Wednesday injury report brought us the news we've been hoping for regarding Odunze. His return to practice as a limited participant is a significant positive development for an offense that desperately needs all its weapons available. Combined with Jalen Johnson's full participation and the progression of other injured players, we're trending in the right direction as we prepare for Cleveland. The next 2 days of practice will be crucial in determining who's actually available on Sunday, but the early signs are encouraging. This team needs to bounce back. We need to show resilience after a tough loss, and getting healthier is a major step toward making that happen. If you want to stay on top of every injury update, every roster move, and every piece of breaking news surrounding the Chicago Bears, make sure you're subscribed to Bears News Fan Report. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Smash the like button if you found this analysis helpful, and share this video with every Bears fan who needs to know about Odunze's status. Comment below with your predictions for Sunday's game and your thoughts on how the injury situation impacts our game plan. We're building the best Bears community on YouTube, and your engagement makes that possible. Bear down, and let's get ready for Cleveland.